Hey guys, Mr. Argueta here, labor management students. Hope you're all doing well. It looks like for the most part we have had a good discussion in regards to outgrowing labor unions and your thoughts on that. I'm going to say, and I started tallying it, but I didn't finish it up. But either way, I'm going to say that we're about 50-50 on that. Half of you feel the need to continue having labor unions to protect the employees. The other half feels that there's no need. We have outgrown it. And then there's some that are kind of in between, I would say, that are not sure exactly, where to go with it. But good discussions. I appreciate that. Thank you for taking time to put some effort into it. In regards to discussions, I think for the most part, the class has done very well. You've given some good feedbacks. The replies have been sufficient. If you're still doing a one sentence discussion, you will be docked this week for that. I mentioned that in previous videos. A one sentence reply or one sentence discussion is not sufficient for me. So please make sure you're correcting that. I think that's the easiest grade you can possibly get, is just putting your opinion and thoughts, your educated thoughts on a discussion. So this week we're going to go into labor law. Shouldn't be too difficult going through it. We're going to talk a little about what the law is and understand how the legal system can either promote or repress unions. We're going to list a couple of provisions of the union laws, the U.S. labor laws, and some of the logic and rationale behind them. Of course, I want you to understand the role that the National Labor Relations Board and similar state agencies have when it comes to labor relations, and compare the similarities and differences in some of the private and public sector laws. Some of the stuff that we'll talk about in this chapter is the fact that there is the common law. Some of the important terms, legal terms, is common law, which is based on customs and judicial precedents, which dates back to centuries in the English type of judicial systems. But then we'll also talk about statutory laws, which is statutes passed by legislation. With common law, one of the two major categories of law, business, labor, and employment law, are three examples of that. So I would love for you to kind of get a good understanding on some of that before we go into more detail when it comes to law. I know some of you have already taken employment law, which kind of mimics this chapter a lot. So if you've taken employment law, then this should be a pretty simple chapter for you. If you've never taken any course that deals with the laws, this might be a little bit of new information, so please take your time to read through it. I'm sorry, let me go back. I advise you to pay close attention to the yellow dog contract. I've seen a couple of questions come up in your test, in your quiz, about the yellow dog contract. So make sure you read through that, take your time on it, make sure you're understanding what that is. Like I said, I've seen a few questions in respects to that in your test. Other than that, I think we should have a pretty simple week, guys. Last week you had wonderful feedback on your discussions. There's no need for a discussion this week. So you're free from discussion this week. We'll go back into it next week. This week, I expect you to finish your quiz. It starts obviously today, which is Wednesday, February 1st, and then we will end it next Tuesday. Other than that, I appreciate you. I will be doing live office hours. So for any of you who might have any questions or need anything from me, or would like to stop by and just ask me anything, you're welcome to do so. I think I posted some on the announcements, and I'll try to do it every week. I'm not guaranteeing that, but I'll try to be available either live, like a chat room, or of course, like always, through email. Have a wonderful day, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.